Hello, my name is Caden. This is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. This is a video that I just came across. It is from USCCA. They do have an agenda to it. It's why you should have their membership. Again, it's not insurance. I just had that discussion with someone again today. It's not insurance. They don't sell insurance. They sell memberships, and then you have access to their insurance policy. It's a good policy. I love their literature, okay? But I am a CCW Safe member. Now, this is a guy who was arrested, and he did something that nobody should have done. Okay, and we are going to be we're going to listen to a story, and then I'm going to be making comments through it. Okay.
Period all the time. It pretty much stayed in my car. I was arrested for deadly conduct. I was on my way to work. I was probably at the halfway point. This guy comes out from the side street from the stop sign right across in front of me. Well, I locked the brakes up, had to squeal the tires, or would have probably rear-ended him, hit him in the rear end. So I'm thinking he's going across and is going to U-turn and go in the other direction. Well, he didn't. He was coming up on an intersection where I was going to have to turn to get on the highway to finish going to work. Notice he got behind me. So he gets right up behind me, and I mean, he was so close to me, I couldn't even hardly see him in the windshield. Couldn't see his hood. I could see the top of his head and the roof of his car is all I could see. So, I pulled over, stopped, and think, what do you want? And he pulled up and he slightly tapped me. And I thought, that ain't cool. So I pulled up about another foot or two, put it in park, put the emergency flashers on. So about that time, I look out my passenger window or out the driver window and see this big guy just running full speed. This guy's about 280, 300 pounds, coming right toward my car with his hand out. I told me he was going to grab the door handle and try to pull me out of the car. So I thought, this ain't good. So I put it in drive and I took off.
See, this is a perfect example of if road rage instances are going to be interesting because it's going to be a he said, he said in this case, okay? And a lot of people want to pull over for some reason. Why are you going to give them the access to it? And then you're going to have people on there saying, well, if you don't pull over, he could run you off the road. Well, if he runs you off the road, that's going to be more powerful to you as a narrative for being, hey, I am the victim here. Um, I wouldn't ever pull over during a road rage situation and try to reason with a person during a road rage situation. And you can also kind of tell in this guy that this guy was offended. Um, and it is heavily muted in this interview, but you know that he probably had a little bit more of a reaction than what he is claiming. I don't know that to be true. I am just being subjective here because I don't think it is. If you pull over, you want to confront somebody, okay? And if you did see a 280-pound person running at you at full steam, and there's only like 3 or 4, maybe 20 feet in between those two. I don't know how a 280-pound person. Well, anyway, I'm getting off the track. So this is going to be a lesson learned kind of thing. I wouldn't advise people pulling over and trying to reason with somebody. Best thing to do is get on the phone right away, and you'll find out later.
He got in his car, followed me.
Yep, he followed him.
Well, it turns out that as they're pulling me over, I'm looking for a place to pull over, and I look at my rearview mirror and I look at him, and he just makes a U-turn over the median, across the grass, U-turn, heads.
See, the story isn't really clear. Did the cops see him trying to drive away fast and then they pulled him over? And they didn't see the guy who's trying to catch up to him. That's not clear in the story. That's what I am surmising that has happened. So now this is that the police pulled him over for some reason, okay?
The other way, it takes off. So I kept on going down the road till I find a place where I could turn in, hold up, roll my window down, get my license out and my insurance. And the police officer gets out and looks at me and says, "Sir, do you have a gun in your car?"
See, and this is my thing. You allow the police car to come up to you and say, "Sir, do you have a gun in your car?" You got out your insurance, you got out your license. Hey, if someone was trying to, hurt you, first thing out of my mouth is, "Hey, officer, did you see that car? It was blah blah blah. He tried to run me off the road. This is a road rage incident. I'm the victim."
So, well, yes, I do. It's up here. He asked, so where is it? I said, zipped up in a fanny pack on the front floorboard on the passenger side. I said, need you to step out of the car, please. He said, have a seat on the curb. So I sat down on the curb. While I'm sitting on the curb, feel somebody grab my arms and pull my arms behind me. And it's a female police officer. I says, what are you doing? She says, I'm handcuffing you. I said, for what? She goes, you're under arrest. I said, I'm under arrest for what? So she goes up, talks to him, comes back, says, making terroristic threats. Yeah, he called the police, said I was aiming a gun at him.
Bingo! Hello! I've told you guys this in the past. If you don't call the cops first, you become the respondent, and the bad guy becomes the victim. This is something that, the rest of the story is just, USCCA is coming to his rescue, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's good stuff. You should have some kind of a thing like this, especially if you're not, cannot, write a check for $100,000 for your civil defense. USCCA is good. I think they're overpriced. I have CCW Safe. That kind of membership. Again, it's not insurance, it's membership. But I'm going to tell you guys, while you're driving around, you need to call the cops first. You need to say, hey, there is this guy. He tried to run me off the road. He's tapped my car. He's the one that's making the threats. And bad guy people, the people who have been in the system, okay, the people that have been are bad. They know the system well. Bad guys call the cops first because they know how the system works. Because they become the respondent, and this guy right here becomes the bad guy. If you call first, he is the respondent. And the guy that did the U-turn, never to be seen again, is the victim. People, this is a classic example. If something goes wrong and you have a gun, you must be the first person to call. When should he have called? I don't know. Maybe at the tap of it and start running off. You're running off and trying to get on the phone, dial 911. You need to become a victim, saying, hey, there's a guy in this car. You can give a description because he saw him outside of his car running toward him. So you should have some kind of a visual description of the guy. The lesson learned here is two things. If you cannot afford a $100,000 check for a self-defense claim, become a member of whomever. I don't care who you are, and be a victim, not a respondent. My name is Kane. This is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. I hope this helped.
And I said, when I explained that to the police officer, he says, well, thing is, he called in and, said you're pointing a handgun at him. And he said, the fact that you have a handgun in your car is enough reason for me to arrest you. The USCCA.
Bye.